Hello, I'm Liz Boswell, leadership coach and communication specialist. For the past 18 years, I've coached hundreds of women through the conversations that shape their careers. Welcome to Leadership Communication in Action. Every week, we'll explore the conversations that matter most in leadership. From self-doubt and speaking up in meetings to difficult conversations, leadership feedback, navigating change, and rebuilding confidence when something has knocked you off course. I created this podcast because I've seen the difference the right conversation can make at the right moment. Every single episode will help you understand yourself a little better, find your bearings, and make your next bold move. Pull up a chair and let's have a conversation. Have you got a presentation that you've been avoiding? Is it something that you've been putting off? You're telling yourself there isn't time, you're not quite ready, you need to get more data first, or maybe you're stepping back and letting someone else take the limelight. You're telling yourself that somebody else knows more about the subject, and you'll offer to prepare the slides and do all of the background work, and somebody else can deliver it. And at the time, it feels like a sensible decision for you, but have you ever considered that this could be holding you back? Because while you're quietly doing all the project work and all of the excellent slides behind the scenes, someone else is the one that's standing at the front of the room. They're the one sharing the ideas. They're the one answering the question. And most importantly, they're the one being seen as the leader that people will think of for that next promotion. Hello and welcome back to Leadership Communication in Action. My name's Liz Boswell, and this is a podcast for leaders who want to communicate with more clarity, confidence, and impact when it really matters. Here we talk about practical ways that you can get your point across in meetings and in all those conversations when it really matters. Today I'm going to talk about that presentation that you've been avoiding. You know the one, you have probably thought about it so many times. You've got this amazing idea, or you've got a transformation that you know could make a big difference to your organisation. And it matters far more than you think that you're avoiding it. And that is the point that I want to talk about today, is how avoiding presentations could be holding you back in your career. I think sometimes people think that presenting is a performance skill. It's something that you're either good at or you're not. And being able to present, is something that you have to be so polished at. But actually, if you want to progress in a more senior role, then a presentation is simply an opportunity for people to see you lead. It's an opportunity for people to hear your thoughts, hear your ideas, and see the way that you put them across in front of people. Now, something I know that I hear from a lot of women leaders is that the fear of standing up and speaking and the anxiety that they get when they stand up and the palms sweat and chest is pounding and they go red and all of that, all of those things will stop them from putting themselves forward. And if that's you, then I want you to go back and listen to my episode previous to this about public speaking anxiety and why speaking up in leadership meetings feels so scary. Go and listen to that episode first. In this episode, we're going to look at the opportunity on the other side of those nerves and what people get to see in you when you do choose to step forward. This episode is all about getting you to think differently, okay? Why does it matter that you are avoiding presentations? Why can't you simply sit there in the background and let someone else take the limelight? Well, let me tell you, I see so many capable women who are excellent at their jobs. They know their subjects inside out. Everyone trusts them to do a good job. Everyone will go to them when they need help. But when those opportunities come up, they take a step back. they don't want to present their work, they don't want to share an idea, then telling themselves these stories, okay, are much better in one-to-one situations. Now, that could be true. It could be just that you prefer one-to-one. You feel more connected on that basis. You might be saying, I'm not a natural presenter. And going back to my point before, no one is. It's all about practice and preparation. Maybe you're feeling that you need more confidence first before you want to get out there and give a presentation. Confidence comes from actually getting out there and doing it. The more we do it, the more confident we'll feel. I know, because I've been through this as well, that you're probably thinking, I don't want to make a fool of myself. I might mess it up, so I'll let someone else do it this time. That point is something that I really want to talk to you about today, because it's so important. Because when we're saying, I'll let someone else do it this time, it's so dangerous, because this time has a habit of becoming every time. While you're letting someone else step into the limelight and be more visible, it could be someone with less experience than you. They might know less about the subject. It's possible that the idea started life in a conversation with you and them talking about it. And so you've said, oh, right, I'll do all of the hard work in the background and you can go and talk about it. Simply because you don't want to take the risk of stepping up and speaking in front of people. So who does the leadership team remember when they're thinking about that change initiative and that amazing idea? They think about that person who actually was standing in front of them. And it's not fair, is it? It can feel deeply unfair and unjust. You're thinking, why is the quality of my work not good enough? And it should be. The problem is that the leaders, when you get to a more senior level, you're judged on how people see you show up. And part of this is when people see you present. This is why presentation opportunities really matter, because they allow people to see you showing up and doing the work of a more senior leader. They want to see, how can you communicate an idea? And the only way they see that is when you're standing in front of them talking about that idea. And so at that point, they want to know, can you do it in a concise way that's easy for them to understand? Can you influence the board? Can you share the information with the wider business? Can they see you as the person who could be standing on a stage representing their organisation in the future? Not to scare you off before you've even started, but this is what people see when they see you standing in front of them. They're thinking all the time in their head, they're thinking, oh, this person might be good for representing our organisation. We might see them as somebody to step into a senior leadership position. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's not about you having to be pitch perfect. You don't need to know everything. And I think this is one of the mistakes I see a lot, is that people think they have to put all of the information, everything they know, into a presentation. And maybe they've got 10 minutes and they've got like a 30-minute presentation. To get it all across, they'll just speak faster, to get the point across and to get everything in there. But then people miss the key points. You don't need to put everything in there. And that second point as well, you don't have to be perfect. They're not looking for a polished keynote speaker who strides onto the stage with, the headset microphone like Madonna back in the 80s. They're just looking for you. They want you to be the same person, but they want to hear what you've got to say, hear what you're thinking. That willingness to step up and take the opportunity for speaking and presenting to the board or to the senior leadership team, it creates that willingness to be more visible. And what that does, it helps people understand how you think as a leader, what you believe, and what you could contribute at the next level. where does confidence come from then to actually get up there and deliver these presentations? Well, I want to share a story with you, okay? Because I want you to know that I've been through this myself as well, and I was never a natural speaker, a natural presenter. In fact, my first presentation was what I can only describe as a spectacular failure. I did not leave the room thinking, well, that went perfect. I have clearly found my calling and I'm going to keep presenting. No. I went from a very painful first experience where I walked away thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to do that again. But I did, clearly. I kept going. I learned from my mistakes the first time. Right, how can I improve my preparation, my planning, my delivery? And each time I kept getting better. And the only way I did that was looking for opportunities and saying yes to opportunities. Confidence wasn't the starting point, it was the result of putting myself forward and taking a risk and improving. And that's the part I think that we often get the wrong way around, that people think we need to be confident before we speak. But it isn't that. It's saying yes first. Okay, say yes to the opportunity and then the confidence will come. Presentation might carry more weight than the updates you've delivered before. And of course, it can feel uncomfortable when you first start stepping into this new environment. But just because it feels uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you're not incapable. It means that you're stretching your comfort zone beyond what feels familiar to you. That it's that part of you that thinks, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. But you don't. And it's like you get over it, you do it, and you think, oh, I've done it. And then you feel great about yourself. You feel more confident and you can see that you can do it. Getting more visible is what helps to build that confidence. What about avoiding presentations then? What's the risk then for you? Every time you're saying no, every time you're saying, I'm going to let somebody else take this opportunity, I'm going to let somebody else take the credit, you're being seen as somebody that steps back. You might be seen as somebody that maybe can't be trusted at that next level. I really want you to think about this today. Think about the impact that each time you say no is having on your career and on your further development. Let me leave you with a question today. I want you to really think about a presentation that you're currently avoiding. It might not be a formal presentation, but you might have previously been given an opportunity to give a 5-minute update at the leadership meeting on how your department's doing. Maybe you've been given the opportunity to share your objectives for next year. And it could be that you've got an idea that you keep mentioning privately, one-on-one to people, but you've not yet had the courage to bring it into a room where the decisions are made. Think about it. What is one presentation that you're avoiding? And I want you to write that down. Write it down. The presentation I'm avoiding is, and then finish the sentence. Once you can see the opportunity clearly, ask yourself, what could become possible if I said yes to that opportunity? Because this presentation you're avoiding could be a big opportunity for people to see you as leading at that next level, because it's an opportunity for people to experience your leadership. Okay? In closing today, what I want to tell you is that I'm really excited that in the next episode of Leadership Communication in Action, we're going to take the next step in helping you with your presentation. Don't start opening PowerPoint and preparing the slides. Before we get started, make sure you're following the podcast. Make sure you're subscribing so that the next episode falls into your podcast player, whichever one you're on, iPlayer or I, and it'll pop up and let you know that the next episode is here next week. And the next episode then, we're going to tell you how to prepare, and I'm going to talk you through the 3 Ps of a powerful presentation. Make sure you're following for that. Remember, your confidence doesn't have to come first. It can grow from your decision to say yes. Until next time, keep saying yes, and I shall see you in the next podcast. Bye for now. Thanks so much for listening to Leadership Communication in Action. If you found this useful, please hit follow so you never miss an episode. Remember to keep speaking up and focus on practical progress over perfection. I'll see you next time.